Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing my 5 top tips for having your best year of ballet ever in 2021. So what I've realized over the years is that having your best year of whatever or doing your best in something doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't happen just by kind of going through the motions. It's something that's intentional. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and choosing what intentions you want to set. So tip number 1 is to understand what success means for you. What does having your best year of ballet in 2021 mean for you? Because it doesn't have to mean the same for you as it means to other people. So first of all, it's important to understand that success is not an objective thing on the outside, even though it can be very easy to fall into that trap in ballet because we're all learning the same steps, we're all kind of aiming for similar things, technique and dancing wise, but there's a lot more to it when it comes to feeling successful. And if you missed my 3-part series on success in ballet, I really highly recommend that after this video you go and watch those 3 videos, you take notes for the things that apply to you and how you want to include them in your life, because they're the things that I've done, and I've had just some wonderful years of ballet recently because I've been doing those things, and I really enjoy teaching, dancing, watching ballet. I just feel like I get so much out of ballet now because I've really understood what success in ballet means to me, what success feels like to me, and what are the things that get me to that feeling. Not necessarily what are the things that get me to a very specific technical goal, although those are great as well, but what is it that allows me to feel successful and how can I get there? So again, once this video finishes, I highly recommend going to watch the success series, and as I said, writing down the things that are relevant for you and what are the things that are going to make you feel successful and how are you going to get there. Okay, tip number 2 is to set your intentions for the year. So with ballet and with anything that has kind of a structure, as ballet does, we know what we're going to do when we go into the class, we know what exercises are coming in what order, we know what things we'll do in the center, we know we're going to stretch after class, all of those things. But it's not intentional necessarily. It's kind of going through the steps, and if you're present in the class, then you're going to be improving, which is wonderful. But if we want to have our best year of ballet ever, we need to be even more intentional. So really focusing on what are the things that you want to work on this year. And I want you to be more open-minded about this than what we would usually think of. If you want to write down double pirouette on point, perfect, be my guest. But I want you to think even bigger or more open. How about, do you want to this year be intentional about improving your musicality? Do you want to be intentional about making your port de bras smoother? Do you want to be more intentional about bringing in a bit of character into your dancing? Do you want to be intentional about finding a way to perform, whether it's in your bedroom with your Zoom on to your grandma, whatever it is? What do you want to be intentional about this year? And as I said, it doesn't have to just be technique wise, although it very well can be as well, but there's a lot more to it. And for example, is one of your intentions to enjoy class more? And if it is to enjoy class more, what are the actual steps that you can take to get there? Which brings me on to tip number 3, which is to create a plan. Now obviously you have your timetable, whatever times your classes are on, that's great, that's your ballet timetable. But what are the extra things, or what are the things that you're going into that class thinking about? So basically it's like changing your intentions into a plan. So for example, if your intention is to enjoy your class more, what are the things that you need to do for that? Do you need to get early and have a chat with the other people in your class before, so you're going in there with like a nice energy and you feel like it's more of a community? Maybe what you need to enjoy your class more is to stretch between bar and center, so you can really feel like you're giving your best movement range in the center. Is enjoying your class more actually about finding a different teacher? If it is, that's okay. You are in charge of your own ballet journey, and you don't have to stay in specific ballet situations which actually aren't great for your own growth and what you want to get out of this journey. So I think that's really, really important, is being intentional about what it is that you want from your ballet journey in 2021 and what are the steps you can take to get there, even if the steps feel a bit scary, like changing class, like moving up a class. Maybe that might be a big one for quite a lot of people. What are the steps that you can actually take and be intentional about, not waiting for someone to tell you, okay, you know what, you've been in this class for a while, why don't you move up? No, if you really want something and you feel like it's going to bring you enjoyment, then ask for it. And maybe it's even the other way around. There's nothing wrong either with being like, do you know what, if what I want this year is to really enjoy my ballet, maybe what I'm going to do is, instead of taking 3 intermediate classes, I'm going to take 2 intermediate classes and a beginner class or an improver class. And when I go into that class, I'm going to do my absolute best dancing because I'm comfortable with those movements, I know them really well, and I'm going to go in there and dance it 100% without worrying that, like, am I going to remember the combination, am I going to be able to get the double pirouette, am I going to da-da-da. Sometimes it's just taking a step backwards instead of forwards in order to allow yourself to get more out of that thing. It doesn't always have to be an obsession with improving technique. Yes, it's important, but it's not the only thing on our ballet journeys. Something else that might come into the plan that you create might be extra things that you want to bring in. So whether that is like 1 private class a week from someone online, whether it's introducing like Pilates or a yoga class or something else that's going to complement your ballet without meaning that you have another extra hour of ballet. So it's being intentional and really making a decision at the beginning of the year and saying, what do I actually want out of this year of my ballet journey? What are the things that are going to get me there? Okay, tip number 4, which is actually related to what I said about sometimes it's good to take a step back in order to propel ourselves even further forward. And so tip number 4 is going back to basics. And I know that sometimes if you're thinking, well, Natalie, how am I supposed to have my best ballet year ever if I go back to basics? But really, after a break, especially like after the Christmas holidays or after any kind of break, and you know, we've had like a very strange year last year of like breaks probably from big jumps for a long time, and then we've been able to do some stuff but not other stuff, and then we went back to studio, and then again we went back home. So it's been a very strange year. And I think sometimes what can really help is to go back to basics and build from like a clean and strong base. And I guess, yes, I am talking technique here in a way, but when you've got the really good technique covered, it allows you to play with all the other things that I was talking about at the beginning, like musicality, like expression, like character. And when you have a strong, clean base in ballet, I feel like it does become more enjoyable because you're not rushing to catch up, or you're not trying to like implement this movement but you didn't have the center to do it, or you're not trying to like get your leg higher without already having a beautiful jeté, those kinds of things. So obviously you guys know that I'm kind of obsessed with nice, clean, strong base for your ballet, which is of course why I created the Pro Leg Lines course, which is all about that. It's all about getting your center, getting your lines lovely and clean, making the most of your own body to create a beautiful dancer, which is possible for every single one of you watching this video. So that's why I created that course. So if that is something that you feel like, do you know what, this year I would like to really clean up my technique so that I can progress faster, so I'm not having to undo bad habits, so I'm not having to look at a photo of myself in arabesque and be like, why is my foot like that? So I just think that going back to basics sometimes at the beginning of the year after a break is a really, really great way to start. And I personally am doing my exercises from my Pro Leg Lines course because, as you know, I broke my toe. So it's a great way for me to like retrain right from the beginning, my right foot especially, because that's the one that I broke my toe on. So I love going back to basics, and I think it allows me then to go accelerate a bit faster once I've really got all of those grounded and embodied. So my fifth and final tip to have your best year of dancing in 2021 is to learn from someone who inspires you. Now this will be different for everybody, and the wonderful thing about this community is that there are so many different people, different teachers, different styles, male, female, fans of Petit Allegro, fans of Adage, people who are more demanding and serious, people who are more fun and encouraging. So find the people who resonate with you. Find the people who you look at them and you're like, I admire what they've done, I respect the way that they do it, and that's the person that, or one of the people that I want to learn from. Another good thing is to have more than one teacher, more than one influence in your ballet journey. I love that because I think that you can take different things from different people and create your own kind of ballet journey for yourself. There are actually just too many people here to mention, but there are so many wonderful teachers and people who are inspiring in the adult ballet community. So please, if you're not already following people who you are inspired by or who you learn from, then just do a search adult ballet community on Instagram and you'll find lots and lots of people there who you can join and share in the journey with. If they're someone else who's like an inspiration, who's another adult ballet dancer, or there are also wonderful teachers who are sharing their knowledge, who are really helping people, inspiring people. So I think that is a really good thing as well, to make sure that you have a good support network, even if it's just online for people who you don't know in real life. If you have other people who you do know in real life, even better, but just create that community for yourself and make sure that you've got positive influences so that whenever things kind of start to slow down motivation wise, you've got people who are going to lift you back up again. Okay guys, I really hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing you a wonderful year of ballet, and I will see you in my next video.